It's time for ignition and straight up automobile pimping.
Dude, where's my car?
Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to another installment of the podcast, the show brave enough to tell you that Mario Kart 64 is the best of the entire series. My name is Tom, and I have my lovely co-host, Mr. Tony Hung. Get it up for Mr. Tony Hung, everyone. Thank you. Brother, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me on the show every week. I'm glad to be here.
I think I genuinely love you, eh? Like,
Don't say that. Always going to start blushing.
Yeah, okay.
Asians go red quickly already.
Oh, Mr. Tony Hung, you been okay?
I've been good. I wish I had your energy. Just running on some pre-workout right now.
No, I saw that when I walked in before. Bro, I'm stoked. I'm here. I'm back home. I don't have to travel an hour and a half home after these podcasts anymore. So I'm very, very happy now.
That is great. I'm happy for that.
Tony, I don't know about you, bro, but I've been wanting to bring on this guest that's in between us right now for quite some time. He is a master of the science, an educator by trade, a man who loves his cars, a man who is a Subaru owner. Says a lot about him.
Thank you very much. Was I not meant to laugh?
No. We have a very special guest on today, and someone who is also a car YouTuber. He's very passionate about what he does. You may have seen him around the traps on social media or on his YouTube page itself. He does everything from interviews all the way through to personal builds on what he's doing on his car as well, things like suspension and all the types of setups that goes with it as well. And we're going to dive even deeper into the depths of where his YouTube even started, which I can't wait to get into later. But I'm talking about none other than Mr. Duong TV. Michael Duong, man, how are you?
Very good. Thank you very much. It's been 6 months in the making coming here, guys. So I'm very proud. I'm very happy to be here, and I've been waiting for quite a while. So thanks for having me.
Thank
1.5
you.
hours drive
Thank you.
towards here. It was great. It was great.
No, thank you, bro, honestly. And it's honestly been... It's been a while in the making. Like, I remember hitting you up, like, we knew each other before, right?
Yes.
So before Car Culture started and all that type of stuff, we knew each other just through, like, marketing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So when you appeared in front of me, I saw, like, your YouTube channel, and I was, like, in the background, I was like, I wanted to do this, but I didn't want to tell you because I was like, oh, I'm a little nervous kid.
Really?
But I was like...
The funny thing is, I didn't want to do this myself either.
What?
When I first started my YouTube channel, it was Science with Mr. Duong.
It was great.
It was like, if you look at my first handful of videos, it was all science stuff, like very scientific stuff, right?
You lit your hand on fire.
Yeah, I lit my hand on fire.
Bro, you talked about the Earth's crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core.
You learned something. Yeah, so I started my YouTube channel as a science teacher, and it was during the COVID years, or the COVID time, our first lockdown, and my first year 7 class, I loved them. They were great. And I was like, I miss teaching them. So I made videos, and that's how I started Science with Mr. Duong. And then, and that was in my first year of teaching, and towards the bottom end of that first year, and this is how I started earning this is how I got my Subaru. I never batted an eye at a Subaru ever.
Okay.
Never. I was never a fan of the Rexy or any sort of Subaru until my friend from America, he came over and he was talking about driving in his mate's Subaru WRX VA going towards the slopes. And then my phone listened to me. I came home that same night and it started popping up on Facebook Marketplace. And it came up on the Facebook Marketplace for about 32, 33, 35K for like a recent VA WRX.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. And that's how I got one, right? And then I bought one and I tried to hide it from the kids because I didn't want the kids to know. But then, I park inside the school and you can't hide from the kids. Every Friday for the first few months, there would be kids waiting at the driveway, waiting for me to come out to hear my car rev. And the reason why, how they found out I had a sports car is because they saw me driving through Cabramatta. Right, and my windows were down because it was so hot. Like, oh, Mr. Duong, is that you? And, if I knew it was a kid, I wouldn't have looked, but just reflexes, I looked over and I'm like, oh, crap, they saw my face. The next day I got to school and all the kids knew about it. They're like, sir, you should make a YouTube, you should change your YouTube channel and make YouTube videos about your car. And I'm like, oh, I don't really want to. And here I am. A few years later, I'm deep in making car videos only.
So what you're trying to say is, damn, these kids were right.
Yeah. I'm having so much more fun now, right? They're getting me out of that profession. But.
So did those kids get high distinction then?
Oh, mate, they're about to hit year 12 and a lot of them dropped science. So
Sean, the non-believer. Sean.
that is it. Yeah.
That's amazing though, bro. I want to rip in today, honestly, about like the type of cars they own, and again, like maybe even diving into why you got the Subaru and what you think of it now. But you already started with YouTube. I want to rip into it straight away, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I watched Science with you, and you started talking about the Earth, and like I know you're a mad hiker. Like I know, like I saw your trips, like when you talked about when you went to Korea and then you went to Japan, and then I saw that video of like the snow falling off the mountain when you like walking through it, filming it, bro. I watched that. I was like, dude, this is kind of like a movie. The snow's like just like slowly blistering off. He's walking on the path, and then the mountain continues down. I was like, this is so beautiful. This is like a screensaver.
I love the sno, man. Anywhere there's snow, I'll be there.
Yeah, you and him, bro, like best mates. And this guy's
you're a snowboarder.
Snowboarder, mate.
Hell yeah, buddy. Let's go.
Bro, this guy would take any chance to not work on CCA to go snowboarding.
Oh, you reckon? I love
Winter time, man. Every 2 weeks, I'm at the snow. I work it. Don't play winter events on for me. I'm at the snow.
Yes. I went to this. I wasn't going to go this year.
Yeah.
Because the conditions this year were so bad.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
Oh, my God. I went on the one trip that I did go on. The snow was so bad, man. Like, there was like 2 centimeters of snow and it was all ice. I fell once on my first day and I fell on my shoulder and hit my head.
Oh, shit.
It was lucky it was the first time. I never wear a helmet. It was the first trip I've worn a helmet since I've started.
Oh, yep.
So lucky it was that trip because I hit my head.
Bro, helmets are lifesavers. It was like with our team group as well. Well, like this year, everyone's got work and stuff. We've got no time off work. So we're like, we'll do one Melbourne trip. Went down to Melbourne and bro.
We went down to Melbourne.
We went to Melbourne. Wow. We're always at Perisher. We went down to Melbourne. Bro, and it was like grass and rocks. We all bought new boards. We're like, it's pretty much the final season. We're going to wrap everything up and send it off. New boards, grass, dirt, rock.
Yep.
Like,
man. Global warming, mate. Global warming's hitting us hard.
That's it. That's why we get into cars. No more snow. Get straight into it.
So exactly where I want it to be, basically. Not that I don't like the snow, but
I want to get this guy to the snow. We should get him out there.
Yeah, we'll drag him down.
Did you take the Rexy out to the snow?
Yes, I did this year. I did some. That was part of my
all-wheel drive, bro.
Yeah, all-wheel drive. Not that I needed it because it didn't rain, it didn't snow. But like I took my Rexy down to the snows this year as part of my suspension testing for MCA as well.
Cool.
And it was great. I had 5 people in the car, 5 fatties. The car loaded completely. And, heaps of cargo on the top. And it was great on coilovers as well.
It looked mad in the white as well. Like, sitting out with the snow. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Really so no chains on the tyres? Nothing?
So with going to the snows, if you've got a 2-wheel drive car, you're legally obliged to carry chains.
Yeah.
But if you've got a 4-wheel drive car, you don't need it.
You just go for gold.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
Winning.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive.
So win for Subaru. There you go again. Or Evo, I guess.
Well, Subaru is the main sponsor of the mountain.
Yeah.
Wait, is it actually?
They usually have Subarus parked on the mountain.
Yeah, they got like foresters, they've got Outbacks parked around the snowfields. Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
All the way at the top of the peak, they've just got a random Subaru there on the mountain.
I wish it was a Rex instead of like a forester on the Outback. Though.
Yeah, right.
Why an Outback?
Cool. Yeah.
Bro, an Outback was like the first car I ever wanted to own. I wanted to own an Outback, like the old school one. Like, I'm 30 now, so fuck, we're talking years ago. The 2-tone one had the plastic bottom with like the green or the silver top.
Man. You surfy northern beaches, boy. You little surfer, bro.
Throw my surfboard in the back, bro. Sorry, dude. Subaru didn't sponsor the waves, man. Like,
Nah, bro.
No, bro. I want to get back into the YouTube side because,
sure.
You've told the sort of transition, but like, I think getting onto YouTube in the first place is like. I'm not going to say you're an extrovert or an introvert or whatever, but like you love teaching, right?
Yes.
So, and we can go into the actual what you do for a living after that.
Yeah.
But what made you want to do that? What made you want to be a YouTuber?
I still don't think of myself as a YouTuber, man.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't. But I wanted to start with, like obviously the science videos. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I'm a science teacher. What can I do with cars? And obviously, the obvious transition was to do car science stuff. Yeah. And that just took so much energy and so much research. And, my academic brain was just, I'm teaching all day at school. After school, I don't want to teach much else, right? So then, I did some mods, did some fun, trying to find out like what kind of content I want to do. And I tried a whole heap of things. I went to events, I went to car meets, and yes, it was fun being there, but documenting it and making the videos about it, it wasn't what I was about. And, there's a lot of automotive YouTubers now where their content is just based around hype of car meet and hype of cars, which I'm really not into. I'll probably get more views and more money that way. But right now I'm really into sharing stories from other people.
That shows, bro. I was saying that to Tony today.
Yeah, and I love it, right? Like my most recent video with Tristan and his Toyota Mark II, like he hit me up. He's like, hey man, I've got an explosion story for you. Yep, let's do it. And he was building it over the last 3 years. Yeah. And literally, I was like, I've got a time slot this weekend. Put it on Instagram. He hit me up. He was like, hey, my car's ready. We filmed on Saturday. He got his car tuned on Friday. And then he came up and he told me, he came out onto the channel, told us his story. And his car blew up just driving to the gym. 1JZ motor blew up going to the gym, caused a fire, spat 2 pistons out the block, multiple holes in the block. And his friend found the piston just on the road. And they collected all the pieces of metal. Yeah. And they put it into like this little jar. Oh, it's not a jar. It's kind of like, when you buy a model and you put it in a case? Yeah. You put all of that in a case. There's a plaque that says JZX 100 Explosion Day.
Like a case like that where the brake is in it now, a Perspex.
Watch the video. There's a little B-roll. Oh, it's so cool, yeah. Watch the video. There's a little B-roll of him holding the thing and he's like, hurry up, man, because it's pretty heavy. It's just solid metal. Just stories like that, man. It all started with Jackie and his STI hatch. That was the very first full feature interview I had last year. He volunteered his time and it was so cool because he bought his STI hatch. Hey, Jackie, how you doing, mate? Great guy. You probably would have seen him around on Instagram and around. He loves tracking his car.
Jackie Chong?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, with the STI hatch.
Yeah.
He bought it from a dodgy dude in Liverpool.
Classic.
Yeah, took it on the track.
Shout outs Liverpool.
Yeah. Took it on the track, blew it up, and the piston in his car, in his engine, it detonated so bad. Yeah. And it was just rattling itself, came out looking like a pebble. It rattled so hard at such high energy, it came out like pretty smooth. And since that story, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And other people, they see me on Instagram, they hit me up like, yeah, I've got a cool story for you. George with his, what is it? Toyota MR2. I don't know if you guys have seen that. My most watched reel on Instagram at like 750,000 views. Jesus. Was him just talking to us about how he fit a V6 from a Camry into his Toyota MR2. And that was gangster. He did everything in his backyard. He, welded his own headers, welded his own exhaust, did everything in the backyard. And these kind of stories, like, on my channel, I really don't know what I want to make, but I love sharing stories. Right? Like, sometimes it is disheartening seeing the views not go all the way up because I have some videos that do really good and some videos that do really bad. But mostly I just want to share stories that I enjoy listening to. Because more than anything, it's more of like something that I can look back in 20, 30 years and like, hey, these are the people that I meet. They're some of the coolest people I've ever met. Yeah. Share the same passion. We all love cars and we all do the same thing. And it's kind of really fun. It's
so funny you mentioned that, bro, because one of the things I wanted to ask you about today is like how you pick and choose content, because I think we're all victims, like it's a bad thing. Like we're all victims to like putting blood, sweat and tears into, say, like a particular video. Yeah. And you're like, this is the one, it's going to do well. But yet the one that maybe you didn't put any effort into whatsoever or anything and you're like, oh, whatever, but it just explodes. And you're like, what the?
Yeah. So I answer your first question, how do I pick content? It's changed over time. Like I used to look at people's Instagram pages and see first of all, if I like that car, and two, if it's something that's relevant to, people on the internet, people watching. So it started with like a whole bunch of random cars. Started with Jackie. I really liked that car. And then I can't remember what I had next, but I had like a turbocharged 86. And then I had like an Evo. My all-time favorite car is the Evo, but it was a stance Evo. I didn't even think about it. I just thought, cool Evo, get it on. I loved it, right? And then
You had Red Z on. You had everyone.
yeah. And then I had, was it Adelaide?
Yeah,
The i30.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And it wasn't until I got the Red Z on, and that was the coolest thing. That completely, that helped me find what kind of content I want to have on the channel.
Why is
Let's
that?
dig in, yeah.
Other than the fact that it's quite possibly one of the coolest
One of the
cars
coolest
I've
Zs
ever
ever.
seen.
Well, first of all, I didn't know why that video, I still don't know why that video does so well. It's almost at 30,000 views.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Of all the cars, I thought that was like, the most overrated one, the most popular one, and it wouldn't do that well.
Yeah.
It's because that guy, he loves taking his cars to the track. And I love circuit racing as well. I can't afford it. I don't do it very often. But I love circuit racing, just going fast around the corners.
I know, bro.
He was telling me how he picked his wing and his suspension because of its aerodynamics and its performance and efficiency and all that stuff. And I've never thought about it on a road going car, but he said he hasn't taken his car to the track recently because his wing put too much downforce. And I'm like, wait, sorry, what? On a road going car? Because I love watching F1. I love downforce. I love aerodynamics. And he's like, my car put too much downforce going on the main straight at Sydney Motorsport Park. I'm like, what a load of shit, man.
No, that's the thing. 100%.
I had no idea. In a road car, to me, that was just virtually impossible.
Mind blown.
But he was like, yeah, I can't, I don't take it to the track because going on that main straight, the front of my car lifts up and it's very unsettling. And I'm like, wow.
He'd arguably have to have a bigger front splitter to be able to compensate that. But yeah, his problem is his front is lifting so up that when he's tipping his car in,
it's all the way from the back.
Yeah, it's sending the weight to the wrong area.
Yeah.
He could have the best suspension in the world. Doesn't matter. Like it's screwing him.
So he got me thinking about all of the aerodynamics and stuff. Because I was like, I've got a wing at the back of my car. Never feel the effect of it. Probably one, because it's so flat. And two, I drive like a granny, right? So in my head, so in my head,
This is what you got to tell the kids, right? Or
yeah. Yep.
Kids, save it for the track.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no. So that got me thinking, like, how can a road car put down so much, downforce?
Yeah.
And I started looking at all these other track cars, and they've got canards at the front, large splitters at the front,
Under trays.
Yeah.
Skirts.
And then I met Jackie with the RX-7. I thought that video was going to do well, but it didn't. His car put a lot of downforce, but he's got like a nice front splitter. He's got nice canards at the front.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is what I want on the channel. I want cars that are built for purpose. Like stance cars are cool and everything. Like no hate towards them, but it's just not my thing. I love people that take their cars onto the circuit.
You're in the right room, bro.
Man, I love wide tires, wide wheels, huge front splitters, huge rear splitters.
Yeah.
Anything that is built for function, I love.
So you loved Snooki's car at World Time Attack then, because that thing was like a
Which
spaceship.
one was that one?
It was the black car. It had like shark fins for freaking a wing.
I think it was S15.
I think so. Yeah.
S15.
Vaguely remember that one.
I'll pull up a photo. You keep going. Pull up a
Blue,
photo.
like little cartoon anime character on it.
Okay. No, I don't remember.
It's crazy. He did what? He had the biggest wing at World Time Attack.
Yeah.
And that thing, bro, it was like a car.
Yeah. Anything with functional aero, I love.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that taking just even going at triple digit speeds.
Yep.
In the 370Z, it would unsettle the front of the car. Like, triple digit speeds, that's like the M5, man.
Yeah.
100 Ks is like, yeah. And I'm like, that blows my mind. And since then, everything I've got on the channel is something that's like built for purpose. I try to get less and less stance cars, something that's built more for purpose, because I enjoy that kind of stuff as well. The craziest thing I've ever felt was, Addy's 911 GT3. I thought that was going to do a lot of views on the channel, but that didn't do it too well. But it was a great experience because we got up to speeds. I mean,
Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just on residential street, so it wasn't like, we weren't super punching it. It was, in the triple digits. And I could just feel that whole 911 front to rear just getting sucked to the ground.
Yeah.
I've never felt this. And this is as a passenger, not even as a driver. I felt the car as it speeds up just getting lower and lower. I'm like, my God, man.
It's incredible.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anything with aero, anything that's functional. Because to me, that's like the epitome of physics, the epitome of science. And it's
That's
actually
what
a Ducati.
It's fine. We're going to talk about it later today,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
But this is Tanuki's car. So swipe through that.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Bro, the wing.
That is
The
gangster.
wing is like,
Massive.
the wing is bigger than our bodies.
Yeah.
Like the shark fins on the side,
Yeah.
bigger than our bodies.
My God.
It's top to bottom.
Wayne is crazy, but like, it's just...
That angle of attack on that wing, that's crazy, man. You could scoop up gelato with that.
Bro, you can scoop up more than gelato.
Bro, so have you ever been to World Time Attack?
No, I've only watched it online.
Bro, next time, come
Yeah.
with us to World Time Attack.
for sure.
And if you love Aero,
Yeah.
you are going to see stuff that will just completely like, just blow your mind. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about like front splitters and like rear wings and all this type of stuff in canards.
Yeah.
You ever seen one where it's one gigantic piece and
From
a car
front to back?
goes so a car goes over and slips onto it and it then raises up
Oh,
and it's
that's gangster.
everything. So everything from the front splitter
the
bolts
underfloor.
into the under tray, bolts
Yeah.
into the sides,
Yeah.
bolts into the canards, bolts into the huge wing that
That's
goes out
gangster,
the back.
man.
It's one piece.
Yeah.
And the car goes over and they lift it up and then you get under the car, you screw it all in from the underneath.
That's so cool, man. I love seeing people like standing on their front splitter because it's bolted to the chassis. That's so cool, man.
And it still drives me nuts too.
Yeah,
I get like butterflies on my stomach every time I see it. I'm like,
Yeah. Have you guys ever been in a car that's built for a wartime attack?
yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
Part of the race team this year. It was freaking great.
Really?
I loved
That's
it.
gangster. What car was it in?
It was Troy's car. So the
yeah,
core car forgot it Rex. So we took that blue and yellow
That thing's beautiful, man.
GC8.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. It's freaking insane.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
That's bloody beautiful.
So Cole Powson raced that car
Yep.
from America. He's just the nicest dude ever. But what a freaking racer. Like, I don't know anyone who can race that car better than he can. Like, there's tons of good people out there, but he was fucking insane.
That's crazy.
But you can take that car, so Troy's car,
Yeah.
you can take all of that apart. Like, each bit, you can
modular.
just take off. And
Yeah.
you're like, if you think about it, race cars are technically like, they're nothing. It's just like a kit. It all comes together, but it all like just comes off and it strips down and then you just replace the part. You're like, oh.
That's pretty smart though. You build it to be, quickly dismantled,
Yeah.
slap something else on. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Ultimate
I mean,
dream,
if anything goes wrong, you got to be able to fix that.
Then and there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be back out there.
Yep, that's it.
It's like how your old man expects you to fix things now.
Think about the future, not now. Plan for the worst.
Oh. God, I forget what the original question was that I asked you. Before we got
Choosing
into
the content. on the channel.
choosing the content.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people that message me, say, hey, I've got this car, I want to come on the channel. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. But I don't know I still don't know how to nicely say no. There are two types of people that I say no to. One, the car is very common and I've already got on the channel. Like, owning a Subaru and being part of the Subaru community. Everyone's got a WRX, everyone's got an STI. They all want to come on the channel because they love the car, which is fine, but they've all got the same mods making the same power, right? Fair enough. I've got Jackie that came on with an STI. I've got Dylan that came on with the most famous STI in the world. So nice, 50 nice, yeah. And that's all that is, right? You've got all the bolt-ons and, I've got another Subaru coming on very soon and she's got like a fully built motor pushing like 440 kilowatts. That's unique. That's cool. And
That's terrifying. 450 kilowatts. Should you drive this on the street?
Yes. Yeah, right. I've got a terrifying story.
Is it in a very bright color?
No, it's not. It's very subtle because the number plate is subtle. Looking at it, you never know.
Oh, I know who this is.
Yeah, it's Amber.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she'll coming on soon.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who, hey, I want to come on the channel. I look on their page and the stuff that they post is quite insulting to other people in the car culture. I'm like, I'm not having you on, man. Don't want to be in, reference or like be
associated
with those kind of people in any way,
Yeah.
I love the car community. The people that I have met, mostly good. So yeah, something unique, down to earth person, someone that can tell a good story. That's who I have on the channel.
I was going to say, because this is your platform to then go tell this is quite literally a way for you to tell them what you want next on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone keep me up.
Yep.
Who has this, and this.
Yeah. Like anything cool, anything unique.
Yeah.
Like recently I had a Dodge Challenger on. It's the only one in Australia that's been right-hand converted. So anything unique, anything with a cool story, happy to have on the channel. Yeah.
What about an orange Commodore?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Commodore, Power Cruise, Power Play, whatever.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
How was it?
I loved it, man. I had no idea what that event was about.
Right, you jumped into
I want to hear your explanation.
My God, I was invited to that event by good mate Chris. He's got a Commodore. He filmed with me about 2 months ago. And he rarely takes his car out. It's got a built V8 motor. He didn't want to, risk being pulled over by the cops.
Yeah.
So we filmed. We were done in about 30, 40 minutes. And I was like, let's go for a drive. He's like, I don't want to drive it on public roads. I was like, oh, what a waste of time. Right? Because it wasn't enough to make a full episode.
Yeah.
So I had that folder of all those clips on my computer for the last 2 months. I didn't know what to do with it. And he's like, you should come to this event, Power Cruise. And I was like, man, I don't make that much money on YouTube. So I'm like, I got anything that's ticketed. I'm like, man, am I going to make the money back? But I'm like, you know what, whatever. I don't know anything about V8s, don't know anything about muscle cars. I'll just go there to try and learn about what the models are, what mods people used to do to it. So I came with an open mind, just like trying to learn about the V8s and the V8 scene and all that stuff. I didn't learn anything, but I had a whole lot of fun.
They make a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
And a lot of noise.
What the heck? As soon as I got through the gates, they scanned my ticket. Before I even found parking, I could see smoke coming up in the air. I'm like, okay, this is what it's about.
Worse than drifters, they say.
My God. And I parked the car and I stood right by the fence for a good few minutes. And I'm like, oh, yeah. What the heck is going on? And like we're talking about circuit racing, and I love circuit racing. Every time I go to the track, it's for some sort of circuit racing, right?
Yeah.
Wide wheels, huge wings. These guys purposely put on narrower wheels. They purposely shorten like the rear axles. There's like, you don't even see the wheels looking at the front of the car. The wheels, they're so far in. Like 70
They're on them little steelies.
What the heck? Oh, what the heck is going on?
This is perfect.
Oh my God, no aero, no grip, no worries, mate. And I went down to they had a garage with 4 cars. And Chris took me for a drive in his car. And my God, he upgraded his cams. These cams, they're so huge. You can feel the car going, what the heck, right? But he didn't drift this car, which is fine. And Mark in that garage, they're all from Pro One Mechanical Shop. They kind of hosted me for the day, and they took me around and around the track in their cars. I still don't know what this car is. You'll see it in my video in about a month. A green Ute with an LS1 swap, turbocharged, 700 horsepower to the rear wheels. He called it a street build. I'm like, nah, man, no way this is a street build. And this was the loosest thing I've ever been in. Yeah. Right? I'm used to high G-forces going around the corners.
You're gripping it in the odd position.
Yeah, but I could feel the car. Like, I'm looking forward, but my body's like this. Like, what the heck is going on? I had no idea what was going on. And this, you just hear it goes, and the smoke coming out the back. I'm like, this is pretty gangster, right? None of these guys care about, taking the corners at the optimal line. None of these guys care about the track time.
No.
Just having a good time. Mm-hmm. Like, I kind of understand what this is all about. But to see all of these things come out of the car's bonnets and hoods, I had no idea what it was.
All the blowers.
I don't know what a blower is. I don't know what a blower is. I try to go around to ask people, but they were all busy like working on their cars, getting it ready to get back on the track. So I learned nothing. I didn't get to know what model was what model. I didn't get to know what engine, like why this engine is better than that engine, or why they've got stuff coming out of the hoods. But I had a whole heap of fun.
Good. I love the fact that you've just gone to an event that A, nothing about. B, nothing really about the genre either. Yeah. And you had the best time ever.
My God. Everyone had twice as many cylinders as necessary. More than, twice the amount of turbos necessary. Someone had two turbochargers and a supercharger on one engine.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
That burnout card, and it sticks out like the turbos on top of one another and with the supercharger on the side.
It's like Jenga.
I forgot that name.
I had no idea what any of that is about. Everyone was driving so close to each other, doing drifts around the same corner. I'm like...
I'll tell you what, here's the deal. You can teach us some science. Tony and I will teach you about
teach me how to do
that world.
Yeah, that was a whole heap of fun. I was sweating through my pants and my back just sitting in that ute going sideways. And it's so different because I felt that V8 kicking in as soon as he stepped in, and then as soon as that turbo kicked in, I'm like, far out. That's crazy.
Yeah, you understand. Did you at that point realize, I understand why there's bogans now? Like, I get it.
The first thing I saw, two things that I noticed when I first got to that event. One is all those large cars, like those big engine cars. And then all the mullets, man. All those mullets, the Goldilocks and the mullets. I did not fit in, man. Barely any ethnics in sight. I was probably one of the only ones the whole day.
Tony was out there living large, bro. He was killing it.
A little life out there.
He was killing it.
Like, g'day, mate.
I joined the dark side.
But it was great. Everyone there was so good. Had so much fun. Everyone was, really down to earth. And some of the weirdest things I saw like 5 guys sitting at the back row of some Holden going around the track. I'm like, no way the organisers let this happen. But
no comment. No comment.
I'm like, okay, this is how we roll here. And Mark, he was on his 4th set of tyre by the time I sat in his car. Yeah. And I'm like, how many sets did you bring? He's like, 2. I mean, how'd you get 4? They were selling tyres at the track for $100 a corner.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually not bad. I thought they'd be charging $200-$300 a corner for that kind of event on site. $100 a corner for,
well, they don't really need grip, bro.
Yeah, right.
Second-hand tires will do.
No
Someone could have just picked it off the side of the street. Hey, is this the size you need? Yes.
Yeah. So that was a whole new thing. I've never experienced it before. I don't think I'll ever experience it again because, like I said, I love circuit racing. Maybe I'll go back to the same event next year. Yeah. Maybe I'll go with you guys next year. Or
you know what I was just going to say? We'll throw the invite out there. Have you ever heard of Summonouts?
Yes, I have. No, that looks too loose, bro. That looks way too loose. See what happened last year?
We're competing in it. So
actually?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that changes things.
We'll bring the cars out to have some fun.
I heard they banned burnouts or skids there last year or something, but people were still doing it anyway.
Well, the rules are made to be broken.
Yeah,
you should know
right.
that.
Yeah.
It's like that one day of the year where there doesn't seem to be many rules.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So not one day, it's 4 days.
It's a 4-day event.
It's massive.
Wow.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Now that Mr. LMCT Plus is a major sponsor, it's going to be huge.
Oh, wow.
4 up Australia. What did you think? You haven't actually spoken a word about Power Play since you've been there. You were just there filming. So how was it?
I was just there. I was jealous not being on the track.
Yeah, I bet.
I was seeing all the cars and I'm like, fuck, I just wish I had my car here. But no, getting the content there was epic. Plus, all the people that realised you were getting content and messaged us afterwards about the content.
I know.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but there was a AMG E63 out there. I don't know if you saw.
E63.
E63 AMG. There was a silver one. So I'm like, way out of the blue. Like, why is there an AMG out there? Everyone's in a V8. This guy was still sliding it.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him
some JDM cars there as well, man.
Oh, bro. The Skylines, the 32s and 33s.
There was a 32 Ute, R32 Ute there. Yeah. I was like, what
chopped off, roll cage out the back. It was like a Datsun.
Yeah.
Paul was like, yeah. So I was talking to this dude. And then all of a sudden he's like, do you know the story about the guy flying out of a VL last year at Power Cruise?
No.
Well, I think everyone who's into V8's new. There's a guy, so at Power Cruise last year, there was a guy, the car flipped and a guy flew out the back window.
Oh, no way.
Luckily, the car didn't crash into anything. Like, it rolled to the side, he went the other way. So I was messaging him. He's like, yeah, I'm in the AMG G10. I was like, oh, that flew out. And I was like, what the fuck were you doing? He's like, I was just getting sick content for my mate, bro. I didn't have my seatbelt. There you go. I went outside the window.
That's loose, man. What the heck?
They are loose, bro. They are loose.
That is not my scene, bro. What the heck?
So I was like, so you came back in AMG, so you got seatbelts out. Safety rating up high.
Yeah. But with those kind of cars, like, any sort of jerking motion, the seatbelt tightens on you anyway. So he probably needed that. Hey,
yeah.
What
epic content, man? Do it for the boys. You need to get that shot.
It.
Yeah,
I got to show mum when I get home.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of people sticking their heads and their arms out with their phones.
That sounds about right.
I'm like, this does not fly on just a regular track, not even a race day, a normal track.
Oh, bro,
day.
you'd be banned. Like if you did that during like a Tuesday track night or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what the heck? I've never seen that. People having cameras stuck outside with poles on their cars. Yeah. I'm not used to seeing that on a track, man.
Yeah.
So great experience, I guess.
But again, it's kind of a good thing though, because it's just another avenue for people to at least do it in a controlled environment. Because you do that shit on the street, you're gone.
You're gone. You're a goner.
You're gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you're actually giving people the chance to be able to just like not misbehave, but just
do it in a more controlled environment.
yeah, and go crazy, like whatever. And that's why I'm really happy you raised the thing before about like even the JDM cars there. I mean, I understand that half of them are freaking LS swapped anyway.
Oh yeah,
Oh man, for sure.
Like most drift cars anyway. It's like, oh look, it's an S15. Oh, it's an LS one in there.
yeah.
It's always the same thing. But like, it's a good opportunity for those cars to get out there and still send it because you can still have hectic 6 liters.
I saw those guys there and I'm like, that's more my flavor.
Yeah.
But I'm not here for those guys. I'm here for, these kind of guys trying to find out what this is about. And
Yeah.
man, that was a great day, hey?
Yeah.
It was hot in the morning. It cooled off very rapidly in the afternoon.
Did it rain?
No, it didn't rain.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the
It
whole
was
day.
cloudy. It looked cloudy. It looked like the rain was going to come through.
Yeah.
But no, sun gods came out, man. It's all right. You can't do rain.
I was going to ask, so you kind of answered before, but so you'd never go again?
Unless I've got mates there, I probably wouldn't go there by myself. But I would go again.
You're coming with us.
Yeah, sure, I'll go with you guys. Easy. As long as I get a ride on the track.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. Because there were a lot of people we're queuing up in line, our mates, they all bought VIP tickets.
Yeah.
So they were able to go on track heaps. But I looked at everyone else waiting 3-4 track sessions in a row and they couldn't go out. I'm like, some of these poor guys waiting the whole day just get one track session.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You need a friend with a
VIP
with a hectic car.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, we're going now. What? Right now? Yep. Let's go.
Yeah, like I was given 2 rides. For the second ride, I was walking around just trying to talk to other people. And they were like, no, Michael, this is our last run. You got to get on. I'm like, oh, shit. My camera was in my bag. My suction wasn't ready. So I had to put everything on the fly. And yeah, my God, man.
It is that feeling though. At the track, everyone's like bang, 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 bang. Like there's no waiting around. There's no slacking. It's like, this is be done. That's got to be done. You got your cameras, slap it on, off you go. Like everything's like that.
Yep. No, it was a great day. It was fun. I'd go again.
I know you have fun, bro, because I saw your reaction on your freaking social media post and you're like,
Were you holding on for dear life?
Yeah,
Honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, that car was so fast. There were so many G-forces holding me in one direction anyway. But I posted that video on 3 platforms, right? YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok took it down. They didn't let me publish it.
yeah, they hate it.
Driving.
And
They hate that stuff.
It's illegal stuff. And I appealed it. And I'm like, it was in a controlled environment.
On a track.
And they're like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. And they let it go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can appeal.
I'm
appeal it.
I'm just surprised that you want the effort to even go through that because we're kind of done with it.
Yeah.
Even if it is in a controlled environment and we know it's right, it's just the process of knowing the fact that they are going to get angry about it and then go through the battle and then get it back up. Like I can't, bro.
Yeah. I don't like dealing with those things either. I had to show the world my reaction. But the funny thing, that wasn't even the scariest thing I've experienced. Like the scariest thing I've experienced was in Wesley's GI Yaris. I don't know if you guys have seen that video on my channel.
No.
He bought a GI Yaris.
Yeah.
Clutch kicked it out of the dealership. First 1,000 Ks. Just started building it, and it's a full world time attack car now. It's street legal.
It's all like midnight purpley
Grape, yes.
grape. Yeah.
That thing's a monster, man. It's only got 300 kilowatts at the wheels, but being such a light,
Such a little.
But they are a monster, bro.
that thing was scary, man. That 700 horsepower turbo LS Ute that I was at Power Play, that was scary, but like still nothing beats that was scarier than that experience in the Yaris.
I'd love to experience that GR Yaris, like going through Bathurst, the hill climbs and the straights and everything. It's such a monster little car.
Yeah, well, we were punching it through
in Mexico.
closed roads.
Yeah.
Closed roads in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was like very hilly up and down around the corners. As soon as he stepped on it in first gear, I could feel the back of the car going down. That was the first time I felt myself getting sucked back like into a vortex.
G-force.
And I was sweating so hard. That thing was the scariest thing I've ever been in.
Was it because I shouldn't
No,
make that joke? Sorry.
He had a giant wing on the back, right? A giant vortex wing. He's got a few cannons at the front, but it just sucked to the ground. And that was scary. That was the scariest thing I've ever been in. And that's one thing I don't want to do again.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
The amount of G-forces in that was gangster. It was it felt like an F1 car. It was too gangster for my own good. that kind of, I was sweating through my ass crack. And that was properly scary.
Oh, well, speaking of like Aero,
Yeah.
something I actually wanted to talk to you about today, and something that I've been thinking about now since World Time Attack this year, is the hot debaters of like, are we building spaceships or are we building cars?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like cars used to be heavily about the mods within suspension, which no doubt you can get so deep into like suspension mods from like the control arms to the actual coils to everything, right? The shock body and the adjustment that you have with inside of that, the camber. It goes on for days, right? And it absolutely, like hand on heart for fact, is true that it can completely change and make your lap times faster.
Yep.
But the argument is that it seems that each race now moving forward, no matter what genre of race it seems like Aero is taking over the battle, and it's actually not so much about suspension, because you're seeing guys like Tanuki rock up with fucking shark fins on the side of his wing. That's the same height as us, and a freaking front splitter the same length as this freaking table. And it's like, okay, well, what are we doing now? Like, are we building an aerodynamic plane? Or
Well, I think it looks really complicated on the outside, but like when you upgrade the Aero, you have to upgrade the suspension as well. Because with Wesley's car, that GR Yaris, he went way past the limits of those coilover suspension that he's got. They were pretty stiff from Shockworks, but he had so much downforce on his car just from that rear wing, it bottomed out on the straight and around the corner. So if you watch his car drifting around the corner, you'd see it drifting, but it would be bouncing along the drift. So you need suspension that's stiff, capable, but stiff enough to withhold all of that aerodynamic drag, pushing it down so that it doesn't bottom out. Because if it bottoms out, it bumps back up, and that ruins your aerodynamics as a whole.
Yeah, true.
So, spaceship or not, you still got to upgrade the suspension,
I suppose. But if that is the case, then because we're talking about so many pounds of force, like tipping into a corner or coming down the straight, like you're pushing an immense amount of pressure,
kilos of downforce.
Which therefore, I feel like, Tony, you're the suspension master here. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to add the brain of science.
Oh no, don't put me there.
With the man who installs suspension daily.
No, I'll just say the amount of years people have been developing suspension and mastering that skill with the new era of technology coming into all this Aero, it's a phase where the two has to come together to make the best combination, best mixture. Yeah. Right now, I feel like there's teams that are fucking smashing and nailing it right through, but there's other teams where they're just getting the gist of it and everything still has to work together. Yeah. So we're just at that entry phase of a new era, I'd say, because just look at the World Time Attack cars. Look at all the other racing as well. Everyone's putting canards on, splitters on. And then World Time Attack, they just take it to a fucking next fucking level. Like you're saying, spaceships. You look at one.
But then how do you compensate for that? Because I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if you're applying so many kilograms of force down, does that mean therefore you need even stronger and stiffer springs to be able to compensate what's happening there? But wouldn't that then in turn, when you're not having all that downforce applied, that would make your car
would suck.
Your car would suck just normally without the force.
I don't think it's the spring rates. It's more to do with the compression and the piston moving in the struts.
It's a whole lot to it. I was watching Misha's video in...
It came out yesterday or whatever it was it?
Oh, he's made a couple with the Hyundai Ioniq.
Misha? I love that guy,
Yeah.
Legend.
He's going through heat right now with Hyundai, but
Really? Yeah, I don't know. I got involved with it, but yeah, he was just going through all his suspension setups and then saying this didn't work with all the Aero because they only just got the Aero fixed, like set up, I think 5 weeks before. Yeah. They were still in a testing phase. So at World Time Attack, they were testing different suspension, different spring rates, different shocks with the Aero kit they have. Yeah. That's what I'm like. It's a phase where everyone's still trying to master one thing and another, and they're just putting it together, and you got to find that balance. And then it's like any art. You just start perfecting it. It's like the slightest change in here makes a big difference there. But once that's done, then you got to change that. It's not one formula fixes all. It's this, that, conditions, tracks, left-hand turns, right-hand turns, weight. It's endless. That's why we love it.
I find that interesting because a lot of people The argument is like, do you want suspension that can handle multiple like a different amount of tracks, or are you tuning it in just for that one Eastern Creek SMSP full track circuit? Like, are you trying to tune it just specifically for that moment? Therefore, it makes it shit in other times.
They're race cars. They're built to the track. They're built to that.
Not a road car.
Professional race cars, bro. For sure.
Yeah, they're not taking it out on the road. Yeah, and like
the road.
Wesley, he tuned his he's got a sequential gearbox, right? And the ratio and the tuning for the gearbox was done just for Sydney Motorsport Park, right? So he tuned it just for that because he only did World Time Attack there. He didn't take it to any other track. So when you're dealing with these kind of race cars, or in any race team, they'll probably change up the suspension if they're going to another competition somewhere.
100%. They're dialing that in like all the time, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Every lap, they're making changes to it.
Yeah.
It's not one for all. Like every day, the conditions might be different. The drivers, they're going to match the suspension to the driver. So it's what the driver feels of the car. And the car's not always the same. There's always wear and tear. They may feel this corner, feel that corner. So,
bro, can I tell you guys something? When I got to interview some of these World Time Attack drivers, the racer knowledge on these guys, like their experience,
crazy,
is just in 20 years. I swear to God, I could never compete or compare. I could never catch up. I could never do enough lap times. Yeah. I'm making this out to be a big deal, but all I'm trying to say is like when I was talking to some of them and explaining like whether it be something like a simple question about dialing in suspension or dialing in this or like what's your favorite thing or like what's the corner that you most like, what's something that you're trying to tackle, what's something you're trying to shave off. The things that these guys would explain, like even coming into turn one, like noticing what is happening with like the wind direction on the flag up there and how that they're going to enter turn one. I was like, what?
Do you not enter at the same angle every time?
Yeah. And bro, I'm like, you take note of that?
What the heck?
Like, I'm imagining like the meme where like the graph and like all the physics and all the equations just like coming I'm like, you're doing the craziest speeds down the straight, like about to come in as you're coming into turn one, and you're trying to tell me that you're calculating what you do normally, and then you look at the flag right there and you can see the angle of the wind hitting that flag, and this is true, by the way, because I'm going to follow this up with the next story. That will judge the exact moment that you need to pivot and turn and cut into turn one. Because the flip side to that, if you fuck that up, did you see any of the crashes or anything that happened at World Time Attack or like some of the accidents?
No, but one of my mates, he flipped his car at turn one. Not a World Time Attack, just on a regular track day.
But so like a part of the wing like slipped off.
Oh, shit.
And you could just tell, like, in terms of like aerodynamics and the way that slip space is working, as he came around turn one, the whole thing just spins the whole car around.
Yeah.
Like, you just think there's just so many forces at work here. It blows my fucking mind. Blows my mind.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
I know.
Or something out of a game.
Spaceships.
Yeah, and that's why I love circuit racing, because it's like science being applicable. You know, a lot of my students always tell me, "Oh, sir, why do I got to learn this shit for? You know, never going to use it for the rest of my life." You won't, but I do.
Yeah.
Every day, man. I love racing. I love watching Formula One.
Oh, bro.
Formula One is like the thing for me right now. But you know, just watching that for me is like, oh crap, my science mind is always firing when I watch anything to do with cars or racing. So that gets me off, man. So. Like anything with cars, like I think about the science behind it and how it's actually working or why it's there.
Can you ever switch your brain off? That's a great question. Do you ever just like try go, I just want to enjoy this, turn off?
Never. My girlfriend hates it. Right. I love nature as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just physics and cars. I teach earth and environmental studies in year 11 and 12. And what's that to do? What's that got to do? It's, you know, like soils, rocks, the water.
I'm from the farm, bro. I love that shit.
Yeah. Anywhere I go, I'll be looking at the soils. I'm like, oh yeah, this about the soils, this about the rocks, and this forms because of this formed because of that. And I go, can you just shut up? Just enjoy the view with me. And I'm like, oh, I can't, man. I can't. I got to look for something scientific about it. So, yeah.
The work is kicking in.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Can we bring back
those
science videos back to your channel?
I'll try. So this is the thing. I asked my principal whether or not I could film in the class because So much happens in the classroom, man.
Yeah, but
If
you
I-
can't have it face the children. It
Yeah.
has to
So
be
I
on
thought,
you.
what if it was just me on the board? No, can't do it.
Yeah, it's,
And
Obviously,
the
yes.
Department of Education, they've got very strong lawyers.
yeah.
So when something goes wrong, it goes wrong. And it goes this like if something happens in a school and it ends up on the internet, you won't hear about it.
yeah.
They're that good. They get rid of everything, and they're very strict with their online policies these days. So I couldn't do it, and that's why I stopped. And also,
okay.
this is alleged, by the way. I see the funniest things and the dumbest things in school, right? I would love to tell these stories. I wanted to write a book or like write a journal and then release it, but I'd lose my job.
Yeah.
Right.
So save it for when you're much older. Then tell
When I retire, yeah, maybe when I retire. Yeah, but I see some of the dumbest things in school. That's why I wanted to film it as well. Just
Yeah.
to put it on YouTube, get tons of views, man. So,
When you mean dumb though, you don't have to go into the story, but like,
the people I work with are dumb.
oh, okay, yeah,
People spelt as KIDS.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They ask me the darndest things. They do the darndest things. It's
So being a teacher, it must be always at the back of your head where you're like, if I film this and a kid sees it or one of my students see it, is it viewable for them? Is it like PG rated?
yes,
or
I
is that-
always yeah.
Have you noticed I've tried less swearing so you can show it to his kids?
Are they going to be watching this?
Probably. Like,
no, bro, I gotta
a
look
few-
good there.
Yeah, man. I've got a few hundred kids that watch.
Oh, wow.
Or like that are subscribed to their channel.
Excellent.
And like I'll post one thing and they'll see me the next day and like, oh sir, I saw your thing and thing. Right. And when I went to the snows, right?
Yeah.
We filmed like, just highlight of us doing random jumps and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I posted that way after the trip. And it just happened to be posted on the day that I was sick. So the next day that I came back, the kids were like, "Sir, is that why you weren't here yesterday? Did you go to the snows? You posted the video." I'm like, no, that was done like weeks ago, man. I was actually sick yesterday.
All those hours to the snow, had a full day,
Yep.
shot it, edited it,
And then came
put it
back.
and then
Yeah,
came back to
yeah.
school the next day, bro. Superman,
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, we've got a lot of kids that are really into cars.
Yeah.
So it's really wholesome also being a teacher that's into cars, because you see some of these rat bags that don't do a single thing in class, but as soon as you talk to them about cars, they're like switched on. And like at the end of the day, I go outside, I turn on my car for them. Oh yeah, cool, and all this stuff. And they like there might be shit to other teachers in other classes, but at least they're good in my class.
You
Got
know,
the respect.
Yeah. I'm like, but then as soon as the class, I wash my hands and that's it. Don't wanna go away.
I have a feeling Tony would have done, and myself, better in science if you were our teacher.
You reckon?
Oh, for sure. If I knew my teacher was into cars and like Star Wars and everything,
Yeah,
you
I talk a lot about cars, and a lot of the kids aren't into cars and they just switch off.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you switching off, man? This is so cool.
Dude, this is mechanical science.
You trying to throw car jokes in there then?
Nah,
They don't get it yet.
no. But I'll talk to them about slipstream and air resistance and all that stuff. And I'm like, so this doesn't make sense. We'll never feel it. I'm like, if you play Mario Kart, you'll feel the effects of a slipstream. We're like right here when you're driving behind someone like this and your car suddenly goes faster, you see the air coming around. That is physics 101, man.
Bro, one up to Yoshi. Sweet.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Bro,
it.
Mario's got the superstar right now.
Dude, honestly, I can just imagine you right now. If I was the kid in the classroom and then I just wasn't paying attention, so instead you explained it as, so you know that scene in Too Fast, Too Furious where Paul Walker goes over the bridge? I would have been like, yeah.
Yeah. You know what would make it happen for real? A giant wing, you take off.
He put Red Bull in his fuel tank and he
Yeah.
just went for it.
200%.
He was on E85 that day.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what E85 is? Learn with me now.
Yeah. And I've got a few students who they have finished school and they hang out with me like every school holidays. And it's pretty cool. They've got their own sports cars and everything.
Yeah, man.
So we'd do like a driver swap through the Royal National Park and they fang my car harder than I do. Like,
Worried?
yeah. Like, as much as I love speed and shit, I drive my car like a nanny. I get pretty scared pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I drive my car pretty soft, and to see my students, like my ex-students pushing my car through the mountains, like my car actually looks pretty cool, hey?
Talking about the car, what's done to the car? So it's a
It's a 2016 WRX.
Yeah.
With the FA20 motor, what's done to it. I like to think it's pretty tastefully modified. I've got a full 3-inch exhaust from the turbo back. I've got the Process West verticooler on it, which is a game changer, by the way. For anyone that owns, a Subaru, the verticooler is crazy.
Why do you say that?
So the first time I took my car to the snows, it's like a 5-hour trip one way, right? Well, driving this car in general with the stock top mount intercooler, in 45 minutes, the car just gets so sloppy.
Really?
Because the intercooler is so thin and so small, it heat soaks really quickly. And it's so flat as well, so it doesn't get cooled efficiently. But with the verticooler, it's like almost vertical. The air just comes straight through.
Yeah.
It's like a front mount, but up higher. And because of the hood scoop, it just goes straight through. And the cool thing about, the Boxer engine is because behind that intercooler at the top, there's so much room. So the air just goes straight through and escapes through the back.
Yep.
Goes down to the transmission tunnel.
Yep.
So now I'll drive for like 6-7 hours and the intercooler is still cold to the touch. So
what?
Yeah. Amazing. And it's snappy the whole drive. Snappy throughout the whole drive.
Yeah, right.
And what else? I've got some pretty cool color shifting wheels. I bought off the marketplace. Yeah. They're by Wet Sports, so they're not like some fake China stuff. They're by Wet Sports.
Yeah.
They look black from certain angles and they look like a dark navy blue from other angles.
Yeah, mad.
It's really cool, yeah. And I've been doing, MCA Suspension, I've been supporting my channel for the last year and a bit.
Yeah.
So now they're sitting on some MCA Pro Straights and they're the best things I've ever done to my car.
So here's a good question then.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about MCA is they do have a lot of different series and a lot of different variants that will obviously have the drift, the drag, the street, the comfort, everything. How do you pick it? Why didn't you just pick the comfort?
Well, they sent me two. Well, the first thing I wanted to do was put on the Pro Sports. Because my first set of coilovers was shocking, man. Pun intended. Complete shocking. Just so bad.
It went right over your head.
Yeah, so that was the first reason why I got the Pro Sports, was to replace the previous suspension that I had. And they were great. I felt like racing everyone for the 3 months that I had it. And then I put on the Pro Comforts, which were a lot more livable. And I was very happy with the Pro Comforts. But they came out with the new Pro Street, so I just gave that a go, and now that's permanently on my car. The decision now is a lot harder than what it was before, with everything in between. So before it was just the Pro Comfort, Pro Sport, and then the Reds. Now they've got something in between.
Don't they have like the Vostons and like...
The Voston is like the entry level kind of stuff now.
Okay.
So with all the MCA Pro series, everything is made in-house. So from the very beginning, everything is made by them in the factory.
Yeah.
So they get to control everything and triple check, quadruple check everything. But with the Vostons, part of it are made overseas. They came over and they assemble it here. So that's why it's more entry level. I don't know about the quality because I haven't driven it, but the Pro Streets are the way to go now. I don't think the Pro Comforts are necessary for anyone unless you've got like a wagon or something. Because the Pro Comforts were good, but there was just so much body roll.
Yeah.
Just taking a normal corner over here, like 20, 30 Ks, you'll feel it leaning a little bit.
I suppose it's in the name, right? Like it's not designed to...
Yeah. And like I found the limits of it very quickly through the Royal Nashos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't drive my car fast in a straight line, but if there's a sharp corner, I'm fanging my car through that sharp corner, right?
You're like, Dom, you love your corners.
I love the corners, but sometimes you could just feel the car...
Too much.
If you gave it a little bit more, I felt like the car was going to...
Kick out.
Yeah. The Pro Street solved it, man. It's just so good. Nowhere near as stiff as the Pro Sports. Significantly less body roll, and you can feel the body roll, man. You can feel it.
How heavy is your car?
About 1450 Ks.
1450. Yeah. Okay.
And like being a Boxer engine, like the car's got pretty good balance. It's a pretty stiff car already. Center of gravity is pretty low, but you could feel it. The stock suspension was shocking as well. Complete crap. But yeah. So yeah, I've got the Pro Streets and they're brilliant. Took it with 5 people down to the snows. No one complained.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Beautiful.
Very happy.
Makes all the right noises, gives you all the right feelings.
Yeah. I had I've got a blow valve as well that I shut off. I got so sick of that, man. The psh, psh. Oh man. First it was the intake.
Yeah.
Like that was cool for about 3 months. But then I started going on road trips at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. My passengers were trying to sleep. I'm starting to like doze off and you just hear like, yeah, no, I'm not having that anymore. The blow off valve, that's nah. The Bankstown special, bro. That's
Bro, that's how you let everyone know you're in the hood, bro.
Yeah, but as soon as I put on that dump pipe and I started to hear that turbo whistle, like nothing beats that turbo whistle. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it is beautiful. So it's still same stock turbo, right? You haven't changed the
Same
turbo?
stock turbo.
Yeah.
I don't need any more power.
Yeah.
I probably haven't even tapped the highest capability of my car.
No, not unless you get a Cobb Access tune port.
You reckon?
Yeah.
No, as in like my car's tuned to 190 kilowatts. I probably only use ever 160, 170.
You reckon?
Yeah, man. Like I've been to London a few times. I've had a few track days. So much fun. But I'm just not good enough, man. As much as I love cars and the aerodynamics and everything about cars, I'm better at talking about it than I am driving it.
It's practice, bro. You just got to get out there and do it.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, I don't make $1 million. So much money, man.
I know, bro.
So much money. My previous set of wheels that I bought off Marketplace had a set of semi-slicks. And those things were so grippy.
Yeah.
But they sucked on the road. I don't know if you guys have ever had semi-slicks in the car.
Don't ever take. I'm not a fan of taking that on the road.
Man, I had no idea, but I was too poor to change it out. So I drove on it for like a year and a half until the tread was about to go. And then now I'm on a set of Pirelli P0s.
Yeah.
But I live 3 minutes away from the M5 and I take the M5 to work.
Yeah.
But by the time I get to the M5, my tires, those semi-slicks weren't warm. So as soon as you go from like 20 kilometers to 100, like blah, 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 you could, oh man, they suck so bad. So bad.
Great for the track, though.
Great for the track.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Yeah.
And no.
Man, you need to come out with us on like a Tuesday night or whatever and just send it.
Yeah, hey, I'd love to.
Racing
It's
with
just
a
free
teacher.
exhibition. It's not even timed. You just go out there, have a fun. Like,
Yeah.
it's the best.
Yeah.
I'm about to do a test day in that MX-5 because it's about to go in for a tune. After we put a Link ECU in it, it's going to be, interesting. Bro, the bill's getting hectic now. Like, we're starting.
But what do you get out of shooting a naturally aspirated car?
Because of all the aftermarket air intake and exhaust and everything, and I've
Yeah.
got to document everything that I do.
Yeah, right.
And when you put an aftermarket air intake on a car, you have to tune it.
For naturally aspirated cars, it doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, there's not much of a difference.
Yes, there is. It also depends on the make and model of the car. But if you put an aftermarket air intake on, say, like his Commodore VE, it's like 30 kilowatts difference.
Really?
Yeah.
That's gangster.
It really depends. It's like you can perfect everything.
Yeah.
You can make it run better, breathe better. With how old the car is, it's not the same from factory anymore. So things change, freshen up.
So the technology has changed so much, especially from like today compared to when that car was made, 2002.
Yeah.
Well, it's everything from factory, all the mission shit they got to pass. We want none of that shit now.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the sky's the limit, really. Like I've just got to get the Link ECU just to get the tune done on that car. You can't tune the factory ECU on that car.
Right, so you got to swap it out.
So I have to swap it out, which I'm going to do anyway because I'm going to turbo it. So it doesn't really matter. It's all part of the process.
Yeah.
So get that done with all the mods that are on it now. Just get it tuned so then I can not destroy it when I go out onto the track. We'll get the base time first.
That's quite, I love a good turbocharged MX-5, man.
Bro,
They're the coolest things.
Okay.
wait.
Tempt him more. Get him to do it ASAP.
I'm a big believer in integrity mods.
Yeah.
I love supporting mods. So before the turbo will be the last thing that goes on the car.
Yeah, right.
So everything in the lead up to that is like, say for example, I'm in phase 2 right now. Phase 2 is like coolant reroute kits, brand new coolers, like everything, entire fuel system back to front, like everything from fuel cells to hanger kits to fuel pumps to fuel filters.
So going all out with that.
The whole thing, whole 9 yards, man.
Yeah.
Like fuel rails, upgrade 1050 ID injectors, like just everything, all the supporting stuff which goes into it.
Yeah.
Then we get to the engine.
The MX-5 already is, around the track, it's a pretty good car.
It's very formidable because it's so goddamn light.
Yeah,
It's like a go-kart. Standard size go-kart.
Like I'll say it again. I drive pretty slow, right? I'm not that great around the track. My personal best around London was 1 minute flat.
Mm-hmm.
There was an MX-5 on my last track day. All it had was probably coilovers and a roll cage. Pulled a 55.
Yeah.
55, man.
Because of the control.
My God, that guy was so good. Yeah, but that car was, probably less than 100 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Didn't have any aero, just had a roll cage and some coilovers.
Also, I'm a firm believer that 50% of the job is done by the driver.
Yeah.
If not
Perfect
more.
the driver.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But it's so true though. Like again, but an MX-5 is like the lightest thing on the freaking road. So we're talking about suspension mods and aero before. Like, dude, we're taking the lightest thing and then you're giving it more control. It will smash things on a track because of its control.
Yeah.
It doesn't need brakes. Your flat's foot on the floor firmly because it can't go above 80 kilometers an hour anyway. So you're like, everyone else is slowing down, ready to come into the apex and enter, and you're like,
still.
I'm Mario right now with the star. But on the straight, you would absolutely smash me.
Yeah.
At least right now.
Yeah.
But 200 kilowatts, 250 kilowatts in that MX-5
That's pretty gangster.
in 950 kilos.
Yeah.
Power to weight ratio, Subaru killer.
It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy.
I think I might piss off a few V8s as well. We'll see how we go. I'm talking about Tony.
Do you race your Commodore?
Are you sure, man? Yeah and no.
Yeah and no?
Yeah and no.
Yeah and no.
I will have fun in it.
Yeah.
It's not the tracker. It's the Commodore's more just a show.
Yeah.
It'll be the show pointing.
Speaking of Commodore tracker, like at the end of that power play day, the last thing I saw was it's called No Prep Drag Race or something.
No prep drag racing, yeah.
That sounded pretty cool, but I'm like, these guys don't have any grip. How are they going to drag?
Yeah, they're doing power skids, bro. I didn't see no drag racing. I saw power skids.
Everyone was doing skids off the line. I'm like, okay. So no one's killing themselves over like a tenth of a second or whatever.
No.
Just having a whole heap of fun.
No, bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is a whole heap of fun. That's all that event is about. They do it. I'm trying to remember. So Power Cruise, it's run by the same people who do Power Cruise, I'm pretty sure.
It's run by the same with Power Cruise.
Yep.
Power Cruise is a 3-day event. That's generally in February or March. I sound like a salesman for them, but it's like February or March, and it's
Must be because you own a V8.
March and February and March early in the year, and then I think they do 1 or 2 power plays afterwards, and then just like the single day events like the one you're at.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the big Power Cruise, like a 3-day one, it gets rowdy. People just, I don't think it's supposed to, but yeah, garages. I think people just fucking sleep in that work on the cars overnight, get pumped overnight, and then back into the cars again the next morning and straight out. It starts early. It starts what, 8? Like track opens 8, and then people are already out there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Right.
Fuck. Yeah. You deserve that.
Made
You
it.
absolutely deserve that.
And we're back live right now. No, but let's dive back in the YouTube, like creating the video.
Yeah.
I had a quick look at your Instagram reel that probably came from a YouTube video.
Yep.
How much time and effort do you put into making a video? Was all your transition cuts?
A lot, man. I'm a one-man show.
Yep.
I've got everything myself. I run the audio, I run the videos, I run the B-rolls and everything by myself. It takes a long time, man. Like a video like the one that came out yesterday, gosh, how long? Probably like 4 or 5 days in total.
Yeah. Wow.
Not straight, but like a few hours a day. Like I've always been into photography and videography.
Yeah.
So my stuff has to be high quality, if not for anyone but myself. All right. So I love something that's like nice and crisp, good colors, and that kind. So it's not a lot of, it's not just the time, it's a lot of money into the equipment as well. You guys probably know. The lenses cost an arm and a leg. The cameras cost an arm and a leg.
It's like $6,000 just sitting here right now in front of me.
My God, yeah. Yeah. But the audio is something that I care more about than the video. Because
That's interesting.
Yeah, because like if you've got crap video quality, people can sit through it. But if you've got crap audio,
Agree.
nah, man,
100%
they're not sitting through
agree with
that.
this.
Like especially with the car channel, you want to hear like the cars very well and blending it in. Like I use Premiere Pro, trying to bring out the exhaust on board driving with the voices. That's such a hard thing to do.
It is, bro.
Yeah,
It is. Have you actually worked out distance yet? I'm fucking frothing that you brought this up because sound is everything to me.
Yeah.
Like in every way, shape or form. I
Yeah.
think what makes or breaks like a video game, for
Yes,
example,
it
is the
audio.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, audio, the clips, how it works. So like, have you worked out like say like you're recording the exhaust of a car in a stationary position, have you worked out the exact distance that you need to be?
No, so I kind of cheat with that one.
Yeah?
I got the DJI Mic 2.
Yeah.
And that's got 32-bit float.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 10 centimeters away. I'm probably like a meter away. And then I can tune that in Premiere Pro afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. So that works better. But like putting it, sometimes I put the mic into the engine bay to get the induction noise, and that's hard.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to do that properly because it's so loud in
Clips.
there. It clips. Yeah. So it is a lot of work, and it's frustrating that I use Premiere Pro because it just crashes and crashes and crashes. And my computer's like pretty high end as well.
Yeah.
But still get the same shit.
Have you tried thinking about using different software? I'm thinking about going to
I've
Blackmagic.
downloaded DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci Resolve.
Yes.
Oh, bro.
I've downloaded it.
That's like elite shit.
Yeah, I've downloaded it and I'm ready. I'm just waiting for that moment to piss me off even more.
Breaking moment.
Being a teacher, I get Adobe Creative Cloud for free.
Yeah.
Right, so I get the whole suite for free. I use
Which is pretty awesome.
very awesome, right? I can't get a pat on the back. I can't get a free sandwich at lunch, but I can get Premiere Pro every year for free. So I want to use it, right?
Yeah.
So I want to make use of the teacher perks that I have.
Yeah.
But DaVinci Resolve looks so much more complicated with all those nodes and the colors.
Because you can control
Everything.
Yeah. That's like next level, bro.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, one of the most challenging things filming the content is the onboard footage. Because sometimes the cars are so tight. I've got a wide angle lens that doesn't capture all of that. And it's pretty hard. And like some people, they talk too loud and you got to edit that after. They talk a lot louder than the exhaust at the back, even though their exhaust is pretty loud. It's pretty hard, those kind of things. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like I suppose you would have to, the difference between like adjusting, I mean, it's sound to sound, but adjusting, say, for like a blown car, like the ones at Power Play.
Yeah.
How would you deal with that?
I don't know. That's a problem for 2 weeks' time.
Not today. Oh, you haven't turned it on yet?
No, I haven't. I've looked at it. I've looked through it, but I haven't tried tinkering with it. Yeah.
It's for another day.
Oh, yeah. I'll worry about that when I get to it.
I can't wait to get the message.
My God.
So,
What do I do this? Yeah.
you know as well, just as we do, right?
Yep.
Like, the most important thing is capturing the best thing you possibly can at that point in time.
Yeah.
And editing after.
Yeah. Being on, like, I don't shoot many events, but being at that event, that was so hard. You know, having the camera pointing in the right direction, make sure the audio is recording on the camera and on the mic, just as a backup. Because like normally when I'm shooting with someone else, just put my camera on a tripod, set the audio, and that's it.
Yep.
All right. Maybe do some B-rolls, put it in the car, and that's it. But doing it at the event is pretty hard.
Yeah, you got to be pretty like switched on.
Yeah.
I write full run sheets.
Yeah.
Like a full checkbox run sheet, like it gets ticked off when it's done.
Yeah.
Like you can on your phone, it puts a line through it. You know that you got it, but you know where to be in specific time of day. It's hyperlinked to like the timetable to exactly where you need to be on what corner, so you get that shot. Like,
oh, nice.
If I don't have it, the event's going to be shit.
Yeah, mate. I didn't know what was going on at Power Play, but I was trying to walk around and like find a nice angle to take some videos.
Yeah.
And one of the guys in the garage was like, turn 5, go to turn 5.
Yeah.
And I walk around and I found turn 5, but it didn't change my freaking lens. I had my wide angle lens rather than my 24 to 70. Like, man. And I left my bag in the garage because it's so heavy. Like you guys shoot with the same lens, the 24 to 70. That thing on your back is a killer.
Bro, we walk around and shoot with JK. This guy not only has one camera, he's got two, let alone all the stuff that like hangs off it.
Yeah, man. Can't deal.
He's got Dude's got a fucking huge ass gimbal as well.
Yeah.
And he just holds it with one hand. He's that used to it that he could just.
And he's got the backpack strapped on as well. Like he's got like bandoliers of like SD cards and batteries.
It's like dude just came back from war, man. He's like pap 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 pap.
But it's such a tiring job.
Oh, bro.
People don't understand it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll film. Like I've got 3 people in one weekend, so that's Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday evening.
Yeah.
As much as I don't think I can do it, man. As a full-time career, that's so hard. Like it's just so draining. You got to be so switched on. Like I'm switched on for work already, but doing that 3 days if I was to do that full time, no way.
Do you write the episode out before you film it?
Nope. I do nothing. No prep.
So is it like, do you have like a posting schedule? Like, so your main
so
schedule
my
is
schedule is about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
So I try to get, I try to film with people every 2 to 3 weeks and have like a backlog.
Yeah.
So so that I just go home and I edit and then I release it in every 2 to 3 weeks. But since I bought my property in May, it's
back burner.
Yeah, the YouTube, like the YouTube channel has not been doing very well. Right, my last big video.
I'm loving it.
You reckon?
Bro.
I love the content, but in terms of viewership, like I'm not good with any of the algorithms. I don't know anything. I just post what I want.
So do you think there's
But that's good,
consistency
though.
involved? Like you must be consistent, like not daily post, but to an extent,
I think
weekly.
so. But also, there's a lot of hype building. Like, you know, all this clickbait and all that. I don't know how to do that. I'm not good. I think that's cringy as heck.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. I'm a very genuine kind of person. Like I'll put something out if I like it.
Yeah.
And
Love
if
that.
I've done it myself. Like I won't put it, maybe I've done like 1 or 2 episodes, but I won't put an episode out just for the hype.
100%.
Right? It's got to be something that I feel passionate about because I want to look back at that video and be proud of it. And I am very proud of my content. I just wish it was being pushed out more, you know? So before my break starting from June, right? So the start of the year leading up to the end of May, the channel had so much growth, so many views, heaps of cool cars. Like the Yaris did 8K views, the 50 nice, the WX STI, that's on like 20K views at the moment. And like, but every episode is like a genuinely good episode. Not like that I'm tooting my own horn, but I genuinely think it's such great stories from these guys, not from me. But since I've taken that break, you know, finishing renovating my house and coming back, it's hard for me to get back into the rhythm. 2, I haven't found as many people because people's cars get broken, like they break their cars or they go on holidays and the schedule's a little bit, you know, more staggered. It's not as consistent as before, but also something going on with the algorithm, man. The videos aren't being pushed as much and I don't know how to fight it.
Dude, I'm sure there's plenty of things that attribute to being in this perfect like circle of like you've got the algorithm on lock. Like number one, it changes all the time, and number two, and number two, like having to hit all those things at the end of the day. The one thing I actually love about you, what you just said, and shows that you're genuine, is you make what you want to make. Yeah, please don't ever change. Yes, like because I don't think I think you build an audience around you, not try find that hype audience. Exactly. Your audience will grow and more people will come around the stuff that you want to you make. The one thing I used to tell clients all the time back in the day in media doing like live broadcasts and whatever, it's like we're trying to make a show. It would be great if everyone watched it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, not everyone resonates with what you're saying. Yeah. But a lot of people do. Yeah. We're going to resonate with those people. Yes, exactly. That's all that matters, bro. Yeah. And we'll build it from there. Yeah, for the 20 people that watch my videos religiously, right? One, I show up for myself and like I show up for them as well. Yeah. You know, like if anything, I show up for myself, even if I get one view. Like the journey of, or like the process of making those videos and meeting. I've met some of the best people doing this, man. Yeah. Like some of the most genuine people. That's it. Like I've met in the car scene. I wouldn't, without the car scene, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I really like, it's in your name as well, car culture. You don't just, have people with cars, you have people that share the same passion. But it kind of sucks these days, hey, because a lot of people, my car's the best, this mod's the best. They don't really appreciate, like the effort someone's put into a 30-year-old shit box. Yeah. Like I love hearing someone buy like a 40-year-old rust bucket, cut it up, and fixing it up for like $2,000 in the backyard. Like, that's so cool. You're in the right room, bro. That's so cool to me, man. I've said this before on this potty, but like you might recognize the name or seen the car or whatever, but like that '09 Rowdy guy, like Declan owns the Toyota and he's got like the chandelier and like the shisha and like his full like El Presidente spec. Like, is this the Corolla? Corolla. The Corolla. That's the black Corolla. Yeah, okay, I think I've seen it. But bro, like that guy did that himself. Yeah. Like he built that. Yeah, he did that. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. I've been telling Tony the other day, it's like all these cars are the same. It's like I would love it if someone just decked out an old Toyota RAV4. Yeah. It'd be hectic. Yeah. Why not? It's something different and it's cool. Like, but you learn so much doing it as well. Yeah. You learn a lot about yourself.
We're talking about the same thing, man. We're reading the same books.
Oh my God, man. Like the best and the worst time I've had It's me on my back underneath my car.
Yeah.
Right. Just trying to replace my sway bar and the nut strips. Like, fuck my life.
Yeah.
Right. Get my dad to come help me underneath with the angle grinder and cut it open and all that stuff, you know, those kind of things. It's pretty fun. And and this is why I haven't, I don't have much variety on my channel in terms of type of content. It's just stories from other people. I love that, man. And like, you know, all these big YouTube channels reviewing new cars, pretty cool and stuff. But where are you going to meet someone that had a, you know, Toyota Mark II that blew up on their way to the gym and the piston went out, you know, 2 pistons went out the engine block, you know? Those stories are so cool.
Did he finish his set?
Sorry?
Did he finish his set? Did you go to the gym?
I think his set was, you know, 10 reps of stressing.
Can you imagine him on
the pistons?
I was like him on pre-workout, like before he's taking, it's like, oh, this is going to be a great set.
Yeah. But yeah, check out Tristan's video if you haven't. He's a very genuine guy.
I want to go watch it after this.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah.
You know what? I can do this because it's a YouTube episode. If you click right here,
oh yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I'm with it. I know what the kids lingo is all about.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a stigma in car culture, or like, what's like the one thing that you think should just go away? Like, it's just annoying, shouldn't be in car culture. Doesn't even have to be that bad. You just like think, oh, what a waste of time.
People showing off quite a lot, hey?
Yeah.
Like they do it for the clout. People come, actually I changed my answer.
Okay.
Takeovers in America.
Okay.
I hate those. What the heck is going on? Everyone's, you know, standing in a circle and you've got people doing burnouts.
Yeah.
And then you're like missing it by an inch. Some people
and then the gets hit and it gets fucking flown out.
The people who are trying to do the somersaults or whatever it is.
No, a takeover is when like they just go to an intersection. They've got a bunch of cars trying to drift or trying to do burnouts.
Okay.
They're disgusting, man.
Yeah, okay.
Just low IQ behavior. And like people, they're getting so close to the cars of people that don't know how to control their rear-wheel drive Mustang. And like if they're standing here, they get knocked by the back. Yeah. Some of these guys end up underneath the car. And when the car tries to get away, they're like the tires pull the pants down.
I saw that the other day. Dude's running around trying to pull his pants back up.
That's so funny, dude. But like, it's such low IQ behavior.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
It's just stupidity.
That stuff. Yeah. And like you see it trickle down to Aussie car culture a little bit. You see these very young car spotters that just run into the middle of the road with their phones, just trying to get a 5-second clip of a car to put on their Snapchat for clout. My gosh.
It reeks of Mount Druitt. It just absolutely. That's how you do it in the real brother.
I do love though, like just seeing young car enthusiasts. You know, like my girlfriend tells me to get rid of my shitbox all the time. She hates it. It's too loud.
She's not saying that about the V8, is she?
My Rexy, yeah.
What?
It's too bumpy. It's too loud. I care about the car more than I care about her. Man,
mine says that all the time.
Man. Yeah, right. She tells me to get rid of it. But like part of why I drive a sports car now is to show it for my younger self. Yeah. I don't know if like you guys are saying, but growing up, I didn't think I could make it and own a sports car. But now that I do, you know, that's me showing up for my younger self. And every time I see a kid looking at my car, like, yeah, man, have a look. Like I live in Bankstown, you see like little young car enthusiasts all the time. I was on my way out a few months ago, like just out of late night shopping, and this kid was just waiting for his mum to load the rest of his siblings out of the car into the pram. And I see him looking at my car before I get to it, and I get in and I turn it on and you can just see his face light up. Like, oh yeah. Right. And I leave the parking space and he's still looking at me. He's like, Mum, look, can I borrow your phone? And he borrows his mum's phone to, you know, film, and I give it a bit of a rev. And this kid is the happiest kid in the world.
Yeah. You just made someone's day, man.
Yeah, man. And I don't know. I make my day.
Yeah.
And I like to make, you know, young car enthusiasts theirs. I just hope they don't go to those takeovers, bro. Yeah. Those takeovers are yes, that if that's your question, one thing I can get rid of, and one thing I hate the most about the car community, it's the clout and the takeovers.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much people that are very genuine about cars and the car culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to find those people and get them on my channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good answer, bro.
Yeah.
I think like it's just few and far between, right?
Yeah.
I've had a go at Forged Carbon. I've had to go at Mercedes. I've had to go at a lot of people.
Forged Carbon.
Yeah.
I reckon that looks pretty gangster, man.
Yeah, it just needs to be left.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's done.
Well, what's wrong with Mercedes?
Bro, I don't even really like normal carbon. And this has come from the guy who's got a carbon fiber huge wing on the back of his car right now. I'd rather wrap it a different color.
I don't like carbon hoods on a white car.
I get you. I get you.
Color match that shit.
Thank you.
Leave the vents in carbon, but color match the rest of it, man.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't like the pattern. I love the idea of carbon. Obviously, I understand what it does. Strong, lightweight material. Yeah. Awesome. Just don't like the look of it. It's real. It's like I don't want these little shapes and patterns on my thing.
Checkers on your
I don't like it. I don't like it, dude. If I wanted to wrap my car in a Scottish kilt, I would have done it a while ago. Give me one color. That's it.
Yeah. I love a good paint job. Yes, carbon, but color match it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, but Mercedes though,
I just don't really like the look of them. Love the engine.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I hate this. I'm sorry, but I hate the sound of a dirty V8. Like,
don't talk to Tony like that.
Most of the V8s you hear, they just get louder. They don't change in tone. I love a good exhaust note that changes from low and ends up high, like a motorbike or like a Formula One car. I love that. I hate like a V8 growl that just it just gets louder. I don't like that.
But you know what it does do? They do back it up with the power. That's the one thing I will say about the V8s is the fact that they're not just being loud for being loud. It does actually increase in power.
It's just the naturally aspirated V8. A turbocharged V8, they sound so
that's slutty.
That
Get the supercharger on again.
it sounds so good, one thing I forgot to talk about. You guys are going to hate me for this.
Yeah, go on.
My viewers hate me for this either.
Go.
I hate the Subaru Rumble, man.
Wait, what? Says the guy who's got a Subaru.
Yeah, equal length headers though.
Good man.
I can't stand.
You don't know, like unequal.
I don't like the unequal length headers. I don't understand people that change out the equal length headers. To me, it's the sound of maximum inefficiency. You're making all that sound for Bro,
I hear you. Honestly, we had huge fights at work. About like whether it should be equal or unequal length headers.
Equal all the way, mate.
I agree. I'm an equal. Dude, that's why I've got 2 freaking exhaust tips at the end of my car because I don't like the single. I like symmetry. I like it's got to be. That's what I want. That's me. It's my car. I do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. Equal length, 100% all the way. Sounds cleaner.
The exhaust note, yes, cleaner, very different. When you get on the gas, you can hear it changing in pitch, and I love that. Right, I love a good exhaust note that goes from low to high. I love the sound of a motorbike. That sounds so cool. But to just get louder in volume but no change in pitch, can't stand that, man. It's like every P plater, the first thing they do is chuck on a giant cannon on the back. I had a student that finished school 2 years ago. And I caught up with him and a few other ex-students a year later. And they all had their own cars by then. 2 of them bought like Ford Focus XR5 Turbo or something. I have no idea what they are. They're pretty
the little hatch
pocket rockets.
Yeah. Little pocket rockets, man. And this one Vietnamese kid, right? He came with the Orion. Toyota Orion, Sportivo, or whatever. And you could hear it from around the corner. And it was...
You're not meant to hear that car from around the corner.
You could hear it around the corner. I'm like, no way, this is this kid. And this is like a short Vietnamese dude, right? And he rocks up. His number plate, black and white, 04 Moe. And I'm like, no way.
You had to leave, right?
Right? And I'm like, mate, what did you do? She's like, oh, sir, don't worry. I just bought it yesterday. I'm like, you going to keep the number plate? Oh, yeah, it's just $50 a year. I'll just keep it. Like a Vietnamese dude getting out of a car with 04 Moe on it. Funniest thing, man.
I mean, at least it's a laugh, right?
Yeah, good laugh, bro. Good laugh.
Oh, my God. See, that, you know what? On one side, you need that in your life because if we've got no one to laugh at, then what's the point?
Yeah. And he wasn't serious with it. He knew it was a good laugh. And seeing a short Vietnamese dude come out with a plate 04 Moe, oh, man.
How good.
Oh, well, Michael, man, Thank you so much for being on this show. Like,
thanks for having me.
It really has been a long time in the making, and I would actually love to get you on again.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd like to do some more things with you in our network on CCA, like other than just like the events we go to, whatever. But we've got like a whole series of shows that are about to drop and come out, bro. Like, there's so many opportunities, and one of those shows is like a science-based sort of monologue. Like I was telling you over at dinner, man. I think it'd be epic if just one day we did like a collab idea.
Yeah, of
you
course.
could honestly, no doubt, bring the brains and fact check me for real and be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I could try.
but it'd be mad just to do like a co-hosted thing. I think that'd be awesome.
I think that'll be fun.
So, man, I'd love to work with you more.
Yes, definitely. Likewise.
And we're 100% bringing you to Power Cruise, and you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it with us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, just let me know, and I'll be there.
But thank you, man. Seriously, like, it's been an absolute honor having you on the show.
Nah, thanks for having me. It's been an honor myself, and I've had a great time.
Thank you.
First ever podcast.
It was a great one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, 100%. I love talking.
Good.
Anything about cars, about science, I love talking. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the channel.
No, so if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Mr Duong TV. It's the same throughout all the socials. Sorry, Mr Duong, DUONG, and TV. Same on YouTube, same on Insta, same on TikTok.
It'll be up here.
Yes, up there.
Mate, how's that continuity? It's just right across the board. It's all the same. I love that.
That's it.
Man. Content creators, man.
Do you want to call us out, Mr. Tony Hung?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for making to the end. If you want to follow us, we're at Car Culture Australia. Same thing, everyone on the social medias. And when's this going to go out? Mid-November.
4 weeks time.
4 weeks time.
Yeah.
So by the time you listen to this, we pretty much have
Forgotten about
3
it.
or 4 shows.
Hang on. 4 weeks time, our time, not when everyone's hearing this.
4 weeks our time? Okay, yeah. So, by the time this goes out, there's all of our shows. A lot of our shows will be live.
It'll already be live
On YouTube. So if you can check that out. We don't just do podcasts. We do car builds, interviews. We got track days. We're filming everything. Everything we want to film, we're not going to create it for
Robin's
clout.
You Made It show.
We're doing what we like what you said, building content to what you like.
Yep, that's it.
Sharing stories. That's what we're all about. Car culture.
Cool.
And on that note,
Thanks.
until next time.
See you later.
Thank you guys. Bye.